Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is gonna be my project pen update. I'm gonna be telling you how it's been going. I'm gonna show you my progress. But also, I'm gonna be switching some things up again. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get right into this video. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love trying out new makeup, but I also love using my collection and challenging myself to use the makeup that I have more. So that's also why I'm doing this project pen. So if that sounds good to you, if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then don't forget to subscribe. I usually upload about 2 to 3 videos a week and I would love to see you again on my channel. So I was actually a little bit unsure if I wanted to do this update. I've been feeling a little bit like I'm not making enough progress. You guys aren't gonna be interested to really see this. But then I realized this is just the way things are with my project pen. I'm not gonna hit pen every month. I'm not gonna hit pen every update. But I'm doing my best and I'm learning. I'm just learning how long it takes to use up products and what products I actually like to pen and which I don't like to pen. Because this is actually the first time I'm doing a project pen and I'm still kind of finding out what works for me. So this is just the journey I'm on. I'm gonna take you with me. I'm gonna keep updating you. And it's just like not everybody is gonna hit pen on everything so fast. I just don't know how some people do it. I'm pretty light-handed with things. And I also feel like it helps when your face is a little bit bigger. My face is pretty small, so I have to be pretty precise with my bronzer and blush placement sometimes. And I do feel like that also kind of plays into it. So there are so many factors that weigh into if you hit pen very fast or not. So I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna show you. And yeah, let's get into these products. So the first thing is this Hello Good Stuff Matte and Glow Bronzer by Essence. This is what it's looking like right now. I've been using it quite a bit, but I've been feeling a little bit unmotivated to use this because I actually put this in because I thought it was gonna be a pretty easy product to pan. And it is pretty powdery, but it isn't like going that fast. It's not going as fast as I thought. And it isn't my favorite bronzer. It's just okay. It's quite nice. It looks smooth on the skin. It has a bit of a satin finish, but it's nothing really interesting. And I've been feeling a little bit bored with this bronzer. So this is what it's looking like right now. As I told you before, the darker part of this bronzer, because it's matte and glow and the glow part is a bit lighter, the darker part is just getting bigger and bigger, but I don't feel like I really am making a big dent in it. It's a really interesting way of wearing down this bronzer because there's not really like a dip in the middle. It's just a little bit like uneven overall. And I feel like I've been panning this for quite a bit, for a few months now. But as I said, I'm a bit bored with this bronzer. And when I look at other things that I use a lot, that are easier for me to pan, those are the things that I'm actually really excited about, that I'm excited to use. And I'm not excited to use this anymore, so I'm actually gonna be taking this out. I would have liked to hit pan on this, but I just feel like it's a bit of a waste to be focusing on a bronzer that I don't love as much as some other bronzers. So I don't feel like I want to spend all my time on this and use this all the time while I have so many different products that I like more. So that's why I'm going to be taking this one out. Next up, I have the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. I'm actually panning this shade over here and I've been using it quite a bit, been using it quite a lot. I also feel like I'm getting a little bit bored with this palette. I do have to remind myself to use this one. I do have to really deliberately, consciously grab for this. And for some reason, I don't feel like it always goes with the looks that I do because it has a bit of a almost mustardy undertone. It's neutral, but it leans a bit warm. And I feel like that sometimes kind of changes the undertone of a look in a way that I'm not really going for. I have made quite a dent in it. I will show it up close. There is quite a dent in this palette. I definitely see that I've used it a lot. And I also feel like I could hit pan on this pretty soon. I don't feel like there's much work left on this one, although sometimes you get a dent in an eyeshadow pretty quickly and then you still have to work on it quite a bit to actually pan it. I'm gonna be keeping this one in. I'm gonna keep trying to pan it, but I am feeling like this isn't the most exciting thing to pan in this project for sure. So if I don't hit pan really soon, I might be taking it out. I'm just also a bit bored with this palette in general. I don't really feel like using this one a lot, and I'm also kind of thinking maybe I should declutter it when I actually hit pan, because I'm not that big a fan anymore as I used to be. So I'm kind of thinking about that. Sometimes when you use something a lot, you really are able to make up your mind. And I feel like maybe this isn't my fave anymore. Now on to something that I'm actually excited about and that is going pretty well. That was kind of like... Not everything in this project is going so slow, and not everything I'm uninspired by. Some things are actually going well. So I have this Plumping Gel Lipstick by Catrice. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing this one a lot. I do feel like I've been wearing it less than the month before I put it in. Because before I put this in, I had it in my Shop My Stash and I used it all the time. And now I have it in my project pan and I'm using it a bit less. But that's also something that's influenced by other things that I'm trying out and things that I have in my Shop My Stash. But I'm pretty happy with the progress on this one. Been using it quite a bit. I've been reaching for it. I really like wearing it. It's such a beautiful shade. It's such a beautiful formula. And I will put on the screen the picture of the markings, of course. But yeah, this is going pretty well. And I'm always combining this one with the MAC Nice and Spicy lip liner. I wear this basically every day. I wear this more than I do the lipstick because I feel like this is one that I can basically wear with any lip look. I always combine this with basically any lipstick that I wear. And if you look at my description boxes of my looks, then you will see that this one is basically always there. I think it's basically the only lip liner that I use right now. I've just been really into this shade and it's gotten really small. When I started it, it was like this and now it's so small. I will also put up the markings of this one, but this is going very well. It's so easy for me to use one lip liner throughout the whole month. This is such an easy thing for me to pan because it's a color that I can use on a daily basis. I love the formula, I love the color. It goes with everything. These are things that are really easy for me to just grab for over and over again. Then the next thing is this Essence, the blush in the shade Befitting. This has been in from the start, I believe. And this is a really difficult formula to pan and I'm really trying. And I do see progress on this one. I do see that I've been using it. There is some wear on this one, but it's also a bit of a difficult one to keep reaching for me. This is a really nice formula and a really nice color, but it's not one I would naturally reach for every day, especially now that I'm more into a little bit more of a glowy blush. And this is pretty matte, more on the satin side. It looks natural, not like really dry or matte. So it's a nice blush, but I don't really feel like I still want to try and wear this every day. It's just not a blush that I want to wear every day. I hope I kind of explained this in a way that is clear for you. And you know what it is with this blush? I was actually planning to have it in for a pretty short time. I just wanted to use it enough for this lettering and the embossing to fade. But there's just something about this embossing. It's embossed in a specific way so that it's pretty difficult to actually get it off, to actually like make it wear off. And I was expecting to do that in a couple of months, but now it's been in for like 6 months and I've been feeling less and less like I still want to keep going with this one. So I've actually decided to take this one out as well and just put something new in, something new and exciting, something that's more of a favorite, a tried and true favorite. I just want to be excited about my project pen, and I don't want to force myself to use things that I don't really want to use, because then I won't be as excited to pen in general, and that's not something I want. I want to keep going with this project because I have hit pen on some things, and I'm actually pretty happy that I'm doing this and focusing on products. So I feel like it's time to let go. I really wanted to use this more. Also the bronzer, I really wanted to, but I'm gonna take those out and I'm gonna show you in a little bit of what else I'm putting in. Next up, what I have to show you is the Nabla Privilege highlighter from the Skin Glazing line. This is going very well. I've been using it basically every day. It's such an easy highlighter to wear. For me, I've just been really going into this highlighter. I'm not wearing it today. I'm using a glowy cheek product from Kiko Milano. But I don't know if you can really see on camera how much I've used this, but I've used this a lot. And I feel like there's much more of a dent in it than when I started. I've used this pretty much every day. I've been really going hard with this highlighter, but it's also my favorite highlighter. I think this is my favorite highlighter in my collection. I love how this looks on the skin, and I also kind of mesh it with the blush to make the blush look a little bit more glowy. This is such a beautiful formula, such a beautiful highlighter. So happy that I have it in, so happy that I can just use it every day without feeling guilty because this is in the project. It's just so great. I hope the progress is kind of visible. I feel like this is a product where you don't really see the progress from a certain point on. It just looks the same, and then all of a sudden you're gonna hit pan. I'm really curious to see if I can hit pan on this because it's pretty raised. It's a baked product. It's a baked gelée product, so it's pretty like thick in the pan. It's raised in the pan, so I don't feel like I'm close to hitting pan. I don't feel like that at all, but I just want to keep going and see how this will look in a few months. Next up, we have the Catrice Prime and Fix Spray. I don't believe I've used this a lot more than I did last month. Last month I was about halfway done with this spray, and I've used it a couple of times, but I haven't used it a lot. And in last update I told you that I haven't been using it that much because masks aren't mandatory anymore in the Netherlands, and that's why I use this, and that's why I put it in to use this more. I don't really have a reason to lock in my makeup, but I feel like I still want to use this a bit more. Last month I was like, if I don't use it, I will remove it from the project, but I'm feeling a burst of inspiration. I'm feeling inspired to use this a little bit more, just to see if I like to use it on days that I don't have to wear a mask, and to see if I like it as a way to melt products on my face together a bit more. Sometimes I just feel like it looks a little bit too shiny. But the other day I applied this and I just put a little bit of powder on the points of my face that I don't want to be too shiny. I don't really like it when my chin is really shiny or when my forehead is really shiny. I feel like that accentuates my texture a little bit that I have on my forehead and on my chin. I don't have a lot of texture, but I just feel like it looks a little bit off on me. So that's why I was really using it, but the other day I just put a bit of powder there and I felt like it looked pretty good. So I just want to use it a little bit more and keep it in the project for a little bit longer. The next thing that I want to show you is this Laneige lip sleeping mask, and I've been using this one a lot. My lips have been so dry, so I've been using this basically every day, and I'm really scraping the sides and the bottom. There's just a little bit left. I think I can use this in a month or so. I think I can use this up pretty soon. I think this is going pretty well and I'm pretty happy with this progress. I think soon this is gonna be completely panned. And then the last thing in my project pan before we move on to the new products is this Daisy Love Perfume by Marc Jacobs. I've been using this, but I don't see a lot of progress. I don't see a lot of difference. Last time I was about halfway done with it, and it's just a little bit over halfway done right now. I've used it a couple of times. This is just a perfume that I really love to wear, but it does feel a little bit more like sophisticated to me, something that I would wear on an occasion. It doesn't really feel like an everyday scent that you just spray on whenever. And before, when I panned scents, I had scents that were a little bit more light, a little bit more fresh, and that I just put on every day. I even put them on when I went to the gym. I wanted to put on a little bit of a scent because they were just really fresh and easy to wear. And this is also easy to wear, but it's just a bit more sweet, I think. It's a bit more sweet and it has some woodiness in it that the other perfumes that I panned before didn't have. So I'm gonna keep going with this, but the progress is a bit slower than maybe I would like. But that's okay, this is just not that type of scent for me. So let's move on to the 3 new things that I want to put in. And these are things I'm pretty excited about. I'm pretty excited to start working on these. So the first thing that I want to put in instead of the Hello Good Stuff bronzer is this Max Factor Baked Bronzer in the shade Light Gold. This is a baked bronzer and I really love this formula. I really love how this looks on the skin. It's so natural. This is a color that can lean a little bit warm on me in the winter when I'm really pale, but right now I'm pretty tan, so I think this is a good moment to work on this one. And this is a formula that is definitely pannable, but it also doesn't go like crazy fast. But I think I can definitely use it a lot and really get some visible progress. I don't know if I'm gonna be panning this really, but I'm at least gonna be focusing on it. This is just a really nice formula and I want to use it more. I have used it a couple of times, but you can't really tell. You can't really tell that I've used this. It's pretty new. It looks almost new in the pan. I think I've maybe used this like 10 times or so. I really haven't been focusing on this one, but I am pretty confident to put this in because I know I really love this formula and how this looks on the skin. The next thing that I'm gonna put in is a blush that I've actually already panned completely. This particular shade and formula I've panned completely, and it's a Max Factor blush in Seductive Pink. This is the same baked formula as that bronzer, but this is kind of like a cool toned pink with kind of like a lilac-y sheen. It's a really beautiful, flattering, cool tone sheen if you have neutral to cool undertones, and I feel like this really works on me. And this was my go-to blush for like 1.5 to 2 years, and I've completely used it up. Then I got a new one, but because I was so into trying new blushes, trying new things, I haven't opened this. This is a completely new one. It's still sealed. You can see it over here. It's still sealed, and I just had it in my drawer because I wanted to try out new exciting blush formulas. But when I was thinking about a replacement for that Essence blush, I felt like there was no better option than this one. Because a lot of my blushes are harder to get, they're a bit more expensive, they are limited edition and I don't want to use them up. But this is a blush I know I can quite easily repurchase and it's not too expensive. And I think this project will be the perfect moment to start using it again, the perfect motivation to actually go for this one again. And I just know that this looks good with so many looks. I just think this is the perfect everyday blush for me. At least it used to be. I hope I still love it as much because it's been a while, and I hope they haven't changed anything about it, but it looks the same. So this is the blush I'm gonna be panning. And I'm actually gonna open it right now. So this is what the blush looks like right now. I will just show it up close so you can see what it is like when it's completely new. So it definitely has quite a dome on there. It is quite raised in the pan, just like the bronzer. So I'm gonna be having 2 of the same type of product in here, and I'm pretty curious how this is gonna go, because then I can also kind of compare the two and see if I use them a lot, if they wear down in a similar way. But of course the blush is smaller, so maybe this is gonna be a bit easier to pan. But of course the bronzer you use a little bit more of. We're gonna see. And then the last thing that I want to put in is actually a gloss. I saw this in my drawer and I was like, why don't I put this in? This is the Nabla Shine Theory gloss in the shade Stardust Radio. and I've already used quite a bit of it. I feel like I'm about here right now, so I think I've used about 1/3, and it's a really beautiful see-through red warm glass that I really love wearing. It's a beautiful hydrating formula, and I feel like this will not be too hard to pan because I love it, but it's also a formula that I feel goes down pretty quickly in this tube. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is one that you can use up pretty easily if you focus on it. So I just want to do that, and I just want to give myself the chance to use a lip product that I'm really excited about, because I can see with a gel lipstick by Catrice that if I put in a lip product that I'm really excited about, that I can really use it a lot, and it just makes me really excited about this project, about my project pan. So I thought I would put this one in and see how that will go. So that's gonna be everything for my project pan update. Let me know in the comments if you are doing any sort of project pan. Do you have any tips for me? I would love to hear. I'm definitely a newbie when it comes to project panning. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then we'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.